right, welcome to One Nation, a Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and welcome to the program tonight. Just a few more days till Christmas. I know you needed to know that. I know you have all of your shopping done. I know that you are prepared like no other year that you've ever been prepared for before. I'm just trying to encourage you. That's all I'm doing. I'm trying to help you out here to make you feel have that joy in the season. So, speaking of joy, we've got a great program tonight. We have Karoline Klebba from Helias Catholic High School. She is a senior there and an outstanding softball player and student athlete. Can't wait to have her come on the program so you guys get to hear a little bit extra from Caroline. Now, we featured her on the cover of Sports Soccer Magazine for the November-December issue, and that is one cool picture. We were really excited about how that turned out. Our photographer, of course, is my daughter, Katie Gill, and she was really excited about being able to have that particular photo on the cover. So, without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring Caroline on here because you guys don't want to hear what I have to say. You want to hear what she has to say. So let's go ahead and do that. Hey, Caroline, how are you?
Good, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Very good. We are very glad to have you on here tonight. So it's pretty exciting. It's almost like a Christmas gift that we get, a week early. We get to open it up a little bit early. Hey, so what do you think about that young lady on the cover of the magazine? What do you think about that?
I think it's awesome. I had no idea I was gonna be on the front, and so it was just like an
Yeah,
awesome little surprise.
yeah, it turned out really good, and I like the picture there as well. One of the
Me
things I really
too.
liked was versatile varsity all-star. So that's one of the things that they said about you in your title. But then the other thing I really liked was trying new things pays off, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Um, we also got some other cool pictures, right there. And then of course, it's always hard to do this, going the opposite hand. But one of the things I wanted to point out to everybody is that QR code right down there, as well as on the front cover. If you will scan that, there is an actual video that we have of Caroline's photo shoot. And so that's on there, as well as a quick little uh, sponsor note from our sponsor on that. Um, so we're going to get started if you're ready to go. You good?
I am.
Okay.
Yep.
So you've had a busy year so far. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about that interview process and being on the cover? What did that mean to you?
It was pretty cool. Like I said, I had no idea I was gonna be on the front, and so getting it in the mailbox, I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's me."
Yeah,
But
cool.
it's just an um, awesome time. And the photo shoot interview was a great process. They came to Helias, and so that was kind of a cool experience.
Yeah, and I love to do that as well because my daughter and son-in-law come in town. They do the photo shoot, so I get we go around and we get to meet great young student athletes like yourself, and we just have a lot of fun with it. So hopefully you had fun.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, good. All right, so the question is, how many autographs have you done for your teachers and stuff like that? Anybody else for you?
No
Anybody do that yet?
autographs, but I've had a lot of people point it out to me though.
Okay. All right. Very good. One other thing we'll point out too is that if you don't get the magazine in the mail, if you haven't gotten one from our grocery stores, you can also go ahead and go on the digital edition on sportssoccermagazine.com, and you can be able to share that with your friends and let everybody see Caroline's article in there as well. It's pretty cool. All right, enough of all that stuff. We're going to move on to the next one. Talk to us a little bit about the positions that you've played in softball and which were your favorite.
So when I was younger, I played mostly the infield. I played shortstop, but then moving into high school, I transitioned to the outfield, and that's definitely been my favorite position. I've also pitched my whole life, and I haven't really had much pitching varsity experience until my senior year,
Hmm.
actually. So I did fill in as a pitcher my senior year, but I would definitely say outfield is my favorite position.
Yeah. So you're fast, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See, yeah. We wouldn't put anybody in the outfield if they weren't fast. I mean, that's you kind of got to be able to get to the ball, right?
Goes hand in hand, yeah.
Yes. Very good. All right. Uh, you started right away in your article with that phrase, trying new things pays off. Talk to us about that and how that's impacted you.
Yeah, that's huge. I came in as a freshman hitting right-handed, and then I couldn't really keep up with the hitters, and my coach was like, "Hey, you're pretty fast. Why don't you try slapping?" Which is hitting from the left-handed or left side of the plate, so I could reach first faster. And I was like, "Okay, I've never hit left-handed, but I'll go ahead and try it." So, I started off pretty wonky, but by the end of the season, I was hitting leadoff, and so that was definitely a great jump for me. I just had to trust my guts and try something new, like I said.
Yeah, and you did that when you were a freshman. You started off doing that.
Yes, I transitioned when I was a freshman, and I've
Hmm.
carried through. I haven't hit right-handed since.
Okay. So, are you what you would say a contact hitter, or are you both power and contact?
I would say both, power and
Both.
contact, yeah.
Okay. All
I
right.
might hit it to the fence, I might bunt it, you never know.
Okay. That's right. You got to keep them off guard. You're just getting on base. So, where did you bat in the batting order typically?
Lead off.
Lead off. Okay.
Yep.
So you were the one that tried to set the tone for the game right away and get on
Yep,
there
that
and
was the goal.
all right, awesome. Make things happen. Another comment that you made in your article was that surround yourself with good people. Tell us about the dynamics of that.
Yeah, definitely on the softball field, teammates and coaches, it's a huge part. Having like a great foundation, good support system, and also family and friends. You're just as good as the people you surround yourself with. And so that's something I hold true to myself.
It is important to surround yourself with good people, and I know that you have done that. We've got several people that are joining on the program. They're joining us right now, and I want to encourage you guys that are watching to go ahead and make any comments. If there's a special memory that you have about Caroline, or just kind of what she's meant to you, or even if you have a question that you want to ask her that I don't have on my list here. Now, you can't see my list, but I probably won't ask it if you have the exact same question. So, anyway, feel free to jump on, and we definitely want to have your comments. Uh, Continuing on, what's it like being a senior at Helias Catholic and reflecting on your high school experience? What memories will you cherish with that, Caroline?
It's awesome. I'm not really ready to graduate at all. I only have one semester left, but it's been great. It's been a great senior year. Obviously, softball, we went far. It was a great season, and academics have been great. I mean, homecoming court, that was a big accomplishment this year. So it's just been a great year so far, and definitely not ready for it to end.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does. Time keeps going, keeps going. It seems like just yesterday. Seems like just yesterday I was getting out of high school, and now I got a 14-year-old granddaughter. I don't know how time flies by like that. It's crazy. Um, so you talked about, homecoming court. Just talked a little bit about that experience. What was that like? And, for somebody that doesn't know much about that, just explain that a little bit to them.
Yeah, that was cool. It's kind of like 2 weeks, I think. We were selected for court by the school. I think junior or seniors voted for top 10, then juniors and seniors top 5, and then I think the whole school for the queen. But it was just a whole week of activities. We were in we got to ride in convertibles in the parade, and then we got to sit on the field at the football game, and then we had a little like dance at the homecoming dance, and so it was just like a fun week centered around that. So it was just so much fun.
All right. So you were in a parade and you got to do that. You're riding on a car, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So we talked a little bit about that before we started the program, and I shared with you that, my wife and I have been in two parades in Colorado this year. And, we're not really parade people, but we were in two parades this year, the July 4th one and then their Christmas parade that they just had in Montrose when we were visiting the grandkids. So um, I don't know. I'm going to let you handle the parade stuff here, okay? We'll
Okay.
cover it in Colorado when we go there. Anything else that you've really cherished about your experience at Helias Catholic?
Definitely all the people. I went to grade school where there were only, I think, 16 in my 8th grade class, and so I transitioned to a bigger high school, being Helias, with
Mm.
about, I want to say, 700. And so meeting so many new people has just been such a great experience that, I'll have those friendships for the rest of my life.
Yeah, good. Uh, so where did you go grade school?
I went to St. George in Lynn, Missouri.
Uh-huh. Okay. So are there
So
any of your classmates that you had from there, or do you have them as classmates here?
there's three of us
All right.
in the I want to say 180 in our class at Helias. There's three of us from St. George. So
Well, awesome. That's good. You've been able to go all the way up with them. Any of them play softball?
no,
Okay.
no, one girl, one boy, and boys in football and girls in band, I think. So
Okay.
different activities.
Well, you guys got it all covered. You're covering most
Oh
of the
yeah.
stuff. Oh, good. Uh, while we're on that, let's just talk a little bit about your grade school experience. And again, it being a smaller school, what did you enjoy about that time?
I enjoyed being able to be in everything. I think that's why I've been so involved in high school. I was in, basketball and volleyball and student council and every club under the sun. And so I think that really transitioned to high school and why I'm involved in so many things.
Yes, and we're going to get into that a little bit more here in just a little bit. And I do, again, want to encourage anybody that's watching, if you have any comments that you want to make, feel free to do that. We'll try to get the comments and or questions onto the program as well. We are talking to Helias Catholic standout Karoline Klebba, and she's done a lot this year already. And like she said, she's got one more semester to go, and she's excited about that. But she's had the busy part with softball here, just finishing up not long ago, and we're going to get into that here in just a little bit. But I want to ask another question while we're talking about high school. Is there anything you would have done differently in high school up to this point?
I don't really think so. I'm proud of that answer. I don't really think I would have changed anything. No.
Well, good. Well, we've got our first comment, and he's my friend, and apparently he's your friend as well. Devin Frank says, "Hey, Kirk and Caroline." He said, "Kirk is a longtime friend. My wife and I love what they are doing at SLM, highlighting student athletes like yourself. My question is, what legacy do you hope to leave Helias once you move forward in life?"
That's a good question. I would like people to know like I'm a friendly, open person, and I want to be the person that everyone feels comfortable talking to or having as a friend, I would say.
Good. That's important. You're probably able to relate to a lot of different people, right?
Mhm.
That's important. Very important. Okay, and talking about important, let's talk about those administrators and teachers. How have they impacted you?
Yeah, they've been huge, especially I'm student council president, and so I work with administration a lot, and so their like openness to new ideas, and same with teachers. I mean, teachers have been so like easy to work with, especially being an athlete, you're gone all the time, so they're easy to adjust to, and obviously learn a million things from them. So
Yeah, very good. Well, we got a great comment here from Adrienne. It says, as you can see, Kay's smile, her smile was always something that helped her teammates when they were struggling. This girl knows how to keep life in the positive. Always a great day to be a satyr. Thank you, Adrienne. We appreciate that. So,
well said.
yeah, awesome. Very good. Now tell us about your classmates. What do you want to be remembered for by them?
Like I said, someone who can be a friend to everyone, and like you said, I do with all my activities and sports and clubs. I do hit a lot of different hobbies that people are invested in. So to be able to reach everyone is something I would like to do.
Yeah. So I want to dig into that just a little bit because I also am a pastor as well, and see people from all different walks of life, different struggles that they come out of. In high school, obviously, you see a little bit of a microcosm of that at times. You see kids that are coming in that might be having family struggles. They might have other struggles that they're dealing with. They may be off by themselves. Um, what do you do to try to, obviously you get that good smile, but what else do you try to do to include them and make sure that everybody feels like they have value?
Hold conversations with them, or just go out of your way to talk to people who they're like, oh, you know who I am? It's like, yes, of course I do. Just like reach out to everyone individually because you never know what they're going through.
Yeah, very good. Awesome. All right. Now let's talk about some of those accomplishments that you've had academically. Why don't you share about that and what that's meant to you?
Yeah, I've had some pretty big accomplishments. A honor roll student. I've had a 4.0 all throughout high school, pretty good ACT score, and I'm a part of NHS. And so, just I would say like that work ethic has been pretty big for me. And I've had to manage my time pretty well with softball and activities, clubs, and everything. But I think it's definitely paid off.
Yes, it has. And you've got one more semester. You're not done yet. You've got stuff
No,
yet
I'm
to do.
not.
Good. Well, Caroline, we've flown through this first segment. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and hit our sponsor break real quick. We'll come back. We'll do the second segment, and then we're going to do it. I'm just telling you right now. We're going to have that speed round where we're going to find out some of those fun details of things that you like to do that maybe nobody else knows about. What's your favorite foods, things like that. I let the cat out of the bag a little bit. That way you're able to start
Okay.
thinking about some of that. So, uh, doing a great job. Thanks for coming on. We'll be right back here in just a few moments.
CNS Business Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, CNS Business and CNS Employment Solutions. See, that was the first time I've messed up on that in a long time. When they changed their name, but it's CNS Employment Solutions, and they really help people right here in mid-Missouri to be able to find jobs if they need them, and they help employers find employees to best fit their business needs. So, CNS Employment Solutions, Paula and her team there, they do an outstanding job. If you need a job or you know somebody that needs a job, feel free to reach out to them and they'll help you out. Also, we have Big Whiskies is our sponsor of Coach of the Issue. And I, again, cannot stress how amazing that is to be able to recognize our coaches that put in all of the hard work and the time that they do in order to help great student athletes like Karoline Klebba be able to be the best that she can be on the field as well as in the classroom. So we really appreciate them and their sponsorship as well. Well, yes, we have been talking to Caroline Klebba from Helias Catholic High School, and she's been telling us a little bit about some of her high school experiences and some different things. Talked about the magazine a little bit. We're going to dig into a little bit more about softball. I know you've been wanting to hear a little bit about that, as well as seeing how well that they did this past year. And did she achieve some of the goals that she wanted to? Or we're going to find that out right now when we get back in here. All right, Caroline, thanks for not hanging up on me and still being here. That's awesome.
Of course.
All right, you're doing a great job. Hey, I want to talk about your senior season in softball. Early on in the season, you guys experienced a few losses in a row. Tell us about that stretch of losing three in a row and how you were able to regroup and get back on track.
Yeah, I think that those three losses were in the Rockbridge tournament.
Hmm.
But we were able to end the day on a win, especially against Camdenton, which was a big win for us, knowing that we would probably see them
Hmm.
postseason. And so that game was really kind of the switch that we were like, okay, we're back on track. We just got to piece it together.
Well, and you also faced some really tough teams throughout the season. I mean, you played against Class 3 state champion um, and some other talented opponents. But talk about those losses and what did you learn from them?
Yeah, we always schedule a hard schedule, and we know they're going to be tough, close games. So we know we're going to lose some, we're going to win some, but I think those wins are just as important as or those losses are just important as wins. We're not going to win everything, but as long as we can compete and we know we can compete, it's going to pay off in the postseason.
So when you played against some of these other teams that you've played in the Mid-Missouri area, you also played club softball, right?
Yes.
Any of those teammates that you have there play against them and some of the other schools right here in Mid-Missouri?
Yeah, a ton of them play on Fatima, which was that class
Yeah.
three state champion. So, yeah. It's fun to play against them though.
Yeah. So why don't you talk a little bit about your club team and just kind of the experience with that and different places you guys have traveled and um, just share about that a little bit if you would.
Yeah, my club team is Show Me Elite, and it's not super strict. We just all have so much fun with it, and then it's a plus that we're pretty good on the side. I mean, we we normally travel down to the lake, St. Louis, Kansas City. We primarily stay in Missouri,
Hmm.
but we face some good competition in Kansas City, St. Louis, and so just getting better for school season, and it's just a great time.
Yeah. So what position did you play in club compared to high school? Did you do the same positions?
Same positions, yep, mostly outfield. Pitch on occasion, but more so outfield.
Hmm. Well, why don't you talk a little
And then
bit about
leadoff
that?
hitter.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Talk a little bit about that. No, talk a little bit about that. Your senior season having to step in and do a little bit more pitching. Kind of talk about the dynamic of having to do that and how did, your mindset change with doing that.
Mhm. I knew I was probably going to have to step in after we graduated a senior my junior year.
Hmm.
And so we started with my pitching coach, Coach Delaney at Helias. He was like, "All right, it's time to get back in the rotation." So he's been working a little with me. I pitched a little JV my freshman and sophomore years, but I kind of hung it up a little bit after that. And so he was like, "All right, here we go." And so I'd pitch with him, 2, 3 times a week during the summer, and then, he'd pull me aside and be like, "You need to pitch today," and he was great. He really helped me with my pitches. If I was struggling, he'd help me, and so I knew I was like, "Okay, I have to be ready if I
Yeah.
need to go in." So that was a good adjustment.
Well, good. Now, why don't you talk a little bit about your pitches? What are your pitches that you were able to throw?
I threw a fastball, changeup, drop ball, and curveball, but changeup was definitely my best and favorite.
Okay. Was that like your go-to pitch when you were ready to get somebody out? Was that the one that you
Oh,
usually
yeah.
called on?
Get
Okay.
them swinging.
All right. Good. Uh, you know, that's one of the things that we talked about when we were out doing your interview and photo shoots. We really kind of wanted to see you throw the ball, to Jay and see if he could even get close to it or anything like that. Um, that would have been worth just taking video and sharing that with everybody. I think that would have been fun. So, tell us a little bit about, kind of the speed, and a lot of people may not understand this, just the velocity that the softball is traveling in there to a hitter. Tell us a little bit about that and kind of what the range is that you throw that in.
Yeah, I'm definitely not on the upper range. I would say I'm upper 50s
Mm-hmm.
and, softball pitchers I would say we see a lot of 50s and 60s, at least in high school.
Hmm.
Um, Definitely not as fast as baseball players, but it's definitely closer,
Right,
to the batter, and so the speed, it kinda offsets, I would say.
right.
But I would say I was keeping up with everyone pretty much.
Well, I will say this is that a lot of times when I see softball pitchers, and you're talking about some of the collegiate or the professional ones that go against baseball players, and they pitch, and a lot of times you see them striking out the baseball players. So that there is a definite difference when a softball is coming in there because you guys can throw that ball that rises up, and typically, you know, baseball players aren't used to that,
No. Yeah,
not at
different
all,
pitch completely. So,
completely. So, what did you enjoy about pitching?
I like kind of that the game started with you, like, it kinda relied on you, so if you're having a good game, it's like, "Alright, I'm having a good game and the team's having a good game." So, but it's also goes the other way, if you're not having too great of a game, it's kind of on you. And so
Hmm.
just having like that leadership role in a sense.
Good. And the leadership role that you also carried when you went up to the plate and leading things off. So you like to. It seems like you like to put the weight on your shoulders and say, "Okay, here we are. Let's go." Would that describe you?
Yeah, that would be true. I'm up for the
Okay.
challenge.
All right. Um, let's see. Why don't you tell us now? How did your team really come together and really start clicking as you went into the postseason?
I would say our pitcher Cambry, she's a junior. She definitely started coming alive in the postseason, and
Hmm.
that kind of just like started our team off. And then also I started hitting better. offensively leading off, that kind of got the ball rolling as well. So having good offense, good defense, we're gonna play some good games.
Yeah. And so what was that process like winning the district tournament?
That was a great feeling. We had done it the year before, so we knew how it was right there. We knew we could get it, and so
Hmm.
especially playing at JC, it's right down the road from Helias, so we had a
Hmm.
big fan base, and it was a close game. I think it was 3-2 that game, and so
Hmm.
we were a little nervous towards the end, but pulled out a big win and just a great feeling.
Yeah. Very good. Uh, so you went on a great run in the state tournament and you finished second to Washington. And we talked a little bit about this before the program. Washington was like steamrolling everybody until they met you
Yes.
guys in the final. And I think the score was what, 3-1?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that game and your mindset, you guys going into that. Um, just just talk about that game.
Yeah, so no one scored to the 7th inning, and so we knew it was pretty much whoever scored first was probably gonna end up on top, and unfortunately, it ended up being them, but we held them, the whole game, and we had beat them twice in the previous year, so we knew, we had what it takes, and they knew they were coming for us, so we knew it was gonna be a good game, and they came out on top, but we competed the whole time.
Yes, you did. You guys had an outstanding season, and that I know you were wanting to go one more spot, but what a great accomplishment that you guys had this year. That absolutely a great accomplishment. Not too many people can say that they finished second in the state, and you can definitely say that. Um, Now I want to talk a little bit about what kind of impact and support your coaches have had on you.
They've had a huge, support. I'll just go through all of them. Coach
Yes.
Wyrick, he was my head coach my freshman year, and he's assistant now. But he was one who was originally like, "Hey, you're pretty fast. Do you want to slap?" And so all credit to him for that because that's been the best thing for me. And then Coach Megan, she was a slapper, and so she helped me on the daily, um, get my batting perfected. Coach Delaney, I mentioned earlier, he is my pitching coach, and yeah, that was great this season. I stepped into that role and he helped prepare me for that. And then Coach Vic as our head coach this year. And he's been great. And he's also our outfield coach. And so I work with him every day in the outfield.
Yes, and I do want to clarify when you're talking about slapping, we're not talking about physical slapping. We're not talking
No.
about the combat sport. She's talking about slapping the ball into play, correct? Okay.
Yes,
We just
correct.
wanted to make sure that anybody just joining the program late, they weren't thinking, okay, this is a violent interview. We don't want to continue with that. Tell us a little bit about your family and how they've shaped who you are today.
Yeah, my family is my biggest support system. They're behind me whatever decision I make. I have one brother. He's a year older than me. His name's Jack, and we've always been close. We're 13 months apart, and so we've just done everything together. And our parents have just been our biggest support system. And I just can't thank them enough for everything they've done for us.
So, character building, what are some of those things that they helped you as far as building your character?
Could you say that one more time? Sorry.
Uh, Character building, what kind of things, what character traits did you pick up from your parents?
Integrity, hard work, work ethic, honestly, everything. They set
Okay,
such a good example, and so it's pretty easy when you have them as an example.
very good. Now, talk about your brother. What kind of things have you picked up and learned from him?
Everything as well. He's more outgoing than me, I'd say. So definitely like getting to know people and paving the path for me, especially going to the same high school as him. Everyone was like, "Oh, you're Jack's little sister," and so it was kind of like a good, alley into high school. But
Yeah,
he's also my biggest support system.
yeah. So, did you look up to your brother?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. Oh, good. That's great. I was the oldest of four, and I don't know that my siblings really looked up to me. I don't know that they did that. Um, but I do know that I knew everything that they did, and if they were doing something wrong, I told them, if you don't tell mom and dad, I will. Did your brother ever do
Yeah.
anything like that? Okay. Yeah.
Not really,
Okay,
but
but it was there. He had that there to hold
oh
over you if
yeah.
he could.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, good. Um, Now, you talked about in your articles about studying biochemistry in college. Tell us about that and how you got interested in that, and if you would also share with anybody if you've decided where you're going to school yet.
Yeah, so I took chemistry my sophomore year, and that was just like an eye opener for me. Like, wow, this is something I'm really interested in. So I think I've upped my science classes to 7 at the moment. So I'm clearly interested in sciences. I'm thinking I want to go into the medical field, and so biochemistry seemed like a natural
Hmm.
major. And then as far as colleges, ironically, on Friday, I just got my acceptance from the University of Notre Dame. So I'll be going to Notre
Okay.
Dame
All
in the
right.
fall.
Congratulations.
So thank you. I'm very
Yeah.
excited about that.
Now, is that going to involve softball?
That is not going to involve softball, but
Okay. Well,
probably club softball, but not at
yeah.
a varsity level.
Yeah. You're going to be focusing on sciences and biochemistry, and you're going to be working hard in your academics. So, um,
Yes.
just saying, sometimes we recognize, okay, it's time to move on from sports and get into other stuff. It took me a little bit longer. I tried out for two professional baseball teams, and after a period, after that second time, you're like, you know what? It's time I got to move on. I don't have an arm that can throw 90 miles an hour, so it's just not going to work. I need to move on. Um, how do you feel about that as far as maybe this is the end, or you're just going to do it recreationally?
It's different for sure. It's weird even now not going to practice after school.
Hmm.
It'll be bittersweet because I'll miss it, but again, I'm choosing to not continue it. So
Yeah,
it'll be a new adventure, I'd say.
yeah. Well, you are going to a very cool school. That's what are you most excited about going there?
I'm excited about the community. I like how they're both, a very athletic school
Hmm.
and that they have, top sports, but then they're also very academic, which I would say ties my two loves together. So
Okay.
that's my favorite part about the school.
Yeah. So, we could work back the other slapping into that because, they're the Fighting Irish, and, just maybe, you can bring the comeback slapping game into that if you decided you wanted
Yeah.
to do that. All right, Caroline, you have done an outstanding job. So what we want to do now is we want to just have a little bit more fun, ask you a few quick questions in our speed round. And so we want to know, what was your go-to meal after you got done with a softball game or a tough practice?
Ooh, pasta salad. That's my
Pasta
go-to.
salad. All right. Is there a particular one that somebody makes or a place that you go to that's your favorite?
Definitely my mom's. It's in the fridge right now.
That is a great answer because that will ensure that you will keep getting that in the future. Very
Good point.
good.
Good point.
Yeah. If there is anywhere in the world that you could go on a vacation or somewhere like that, where would that be and why?
Iceland, just 'cause it's so pretty and I just love it. I like mountains over beach, so it's just like
Okay.
a destination.
That very first part of that word, that name, Iceland, that kind of puts me out a little bit. I mean, is there like a lot of ice there, or is it just kind of that's just in the name and it's not quite that way?
I would say there's a hefty amount, but
Okay.
not like Antarctica.
Okay. We were again. I told you before the program, we went up to Colorado and we cut down a Christmas tree with our grandkids up on the Grand Mesa, and they had 5 feet of snow, and it was waist
Yeah.
deep going out there to cut that tree down. And so, I had my fill of snow for the year right then and there. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I bet.
So Iceland, I'm you have fun. I hope you get to go there.
Okay.
What are you wanting to do this summer as you're getting prepared for college? What is one of the one things that you want to do this summer before you move on?
I would say shadow at hospitals because if I'm wanting to go into the medical field, get some more experience before I enter college. But then besides that, just have some downtime. This will be my first summer,
Yeah.
I'm not going to practices and running all around, so definitely some
Okay.
downtime would be nice.
Well, good. You deserve downtime, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So this next question is not going to help with that. I'm just telling you. It's just not.
Okay.
Okay. So, um, concerning chores in the house, what is your least favorite chore to do?
Dishes by far.
Dishes by far. So, are you saying that everybody makes a lot of dishes around your household?
Yes.
Okay. But you know what? Is is doing the dishes for the pasta salad payoff? Is it worth it?
Yeah, it is worth it. I would do
Okay.
that every
Okay.
day.
So there you go, Mom. Make sure that you have plenty of pasta salad in the refrigerator if you want the dishes done. What is your favorite movie of all time?
Oof, I don't know. Probably the Polar Express, definitely around Christmas
Okay.
time.
All right. Have you watched
Good
it yet this
movie.
Christmas?
Not yet. I'm planning on
Okay.
it this week.
We were just talking about that yesterday, I think, or the day before. We have not watched It's a Wonderful Life. We usually try to do that every year.
Mm. Yep,
And
we do too. We hit that
yeah,
every year.
so I want to know this. We were talking about the same thing. So we love watching it, but it kind of puts you to sleep. Does that do that to you too?
Yes, and it's such
Okay.
a long movie, but
Okay.
great movie.
Yes, it is. Uh, if you could give any advice to the student athletes coming up behind you in the years to come, what would that be and why?
Um, I would say, like I said in the article, don't be afraid to try new things and surround yourself with good people.
Okay. Well, you seem to be a very good person. Is there anything else that you would like to add and share with our audience tonight?
Not off the top of my head. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Yeah, we are glad they all enjoyed it. And I mean, we know they enjoyed it, made some good comments, and we had a lot of people joining in. And one thing I've noticed throughout the program, this almost looks like you and I are in the same room because our walls are
Yeah.
almost the exact same color. We did not plan
Yes.
that. Typically, I have my green screen behind me, but tonight I did not have that because the table I use is being used to wrap gifts. So that's why I am
Um,
in this particular room. Well, Caroline, I'm going to have you hold on until after the program's done here, but I want to just say thank you for joining us and uh, what an outstanding career that you have had. And we're looking forward to uh, you being able to go to Notre Dame and being a biochemist or whatever it is that you decide to do. We know that you're going to do it and you're going to do it well.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be right with you in just a moment as I close out the program. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight on One Nation of Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. We had Karoline Klebba from Helias Catholic High School. Outstanding young lady and a great softball player, but an even better person. And you could just tell that. Again, I enjoyed the comment that it was about her smile. And obviously, we can see that as we did the interview with her tonight. If you have not seen her article and you happen to come across it at Hy-Vee or Downtown Book and Toy, go ahead and pick that up. And you can read that article as well as a bunch of other great articles on student athletes right here in mid-Missouri. Also, you can go to sportssoccermagazine.com and you can go to the digital edition and pull that up there as well. You techie people that don't, read magazines and paper anymore. We've took care of you too. It's on digital. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Yes, we will have a Christmas Day program next week, but it will probably be the best of. I'm going to have some different um, clips that we'll probably run, and we'll do that on both Christmas Day and on New Year's Day, since you guys are going to be busy doing a lot of other things. But thank you for joining us tonight. Merry Christmas to you all, and God bless you, and we'll see you in a few weeks.